Hey there, welcome to CNT Collectibles. I am C. Hope you are doing well. All right, today in our series of taking a look at players that are maybe not talked about as much as they should for whatever reason, one reason or another, we're going to take a look at the Cubs shortstop Nico Hoerner. And I didn't have a great title for him this time. Turning the corner, turning the Horner. I don't know. So we're just going with this. Hope that's okay. So appreciate all the views on the last one. I don't get a ton of activity on this channel. I just do it because I have fun. So thank you. Even though people only stayed for a minute and a half. So I think I just need to move a little bit faster. So let's take a look at Mr. Hoerner, see what we see, and whether or not his cards are worth going after here. So Nico Hoerner is a 25-year-old shortstop for the Chicago Cubs. I call it middle infielder, but it's mostly shortstop. Even a game at third base apparently this year. So this is the closest to a full season that he's had. He's been hurt the past few weeks here. He's been in and out of the lineup a bit. So 145, 150 games into the season, depending on your team. He's played 125 of them, but he's done very, very well. 291 average, 4.1 wins above replacement. All right, so 112 weighted runs created, so he's just above league average in the hitting department, but he's got some speed and some defense. If you look at his prospects report, he was an above average bat, and he was above average speed guy with not a lot of game power, and he was a 50 future value prospect, and I think he's coming in just a little bit above that. So I had him on my fantasy team this year, and I was very happy with his performance at times here. So what he does bring to the table, again, he has that nice batting average. He doesn't walk a ton, but he doesn't strike out a ton either. If you throw him a ball, he's probably going to hit it. And he's probably going to find a spot in the field for that to land safely here. So he's got good base running acumen here with 18 stolen bases, and his defense is well above average, 13.8 defensive WAR, and so above average player all across the board here. What he doesn't bring to the table is a ton of power. So his exit velocity sitting at 87 miles per hour. A lot of the power guys, on average, they're hitting around that 90, 91 on that number, and that maximum exit velocity is up in that 115, 120 area. O'Neal Cruz, I think, has the record in the StatCast area of about 122 or something like that. Aaron Judge, 120. So he's not those guys right here, but he's got some pop. He's got to put both cheeks into it to get it out of the park. So we'll see that in his spray chart here. So this year we're getting a little bit bigger sample size. All right, we haven't seen him again play much more than 40 games the past few seasons. This year he's getting a little bit more, and we're starting to see who he is here. And so he's able to barrel up the ball just a little bit more. That hard hit rate in the low 30s, and so he's more of a medium contact guy. Doesn't hit the ball poorly, doesn't hit it very hard all the time. He's more of a medium guy, and with that, what you want to do is keep the ball on the ground or a line drive here. So that fly ball rate is ticked up just a bit, and so that's where we see his batting average and balls in play drop off just a little bit from where it was in last year. The previous years he's kind of regressed to that. Doesn't pop the ball up in the infield, which is good. Home run to fly ball rate. Not much going on there. Again, not a home run hitter. That's not what we're looking for out of him here, but he does have a nice line drive and ground ball profile here. So he's given up a few of the ground balls and traded them for fly balls as he tries to put them out of the park. And it's worked to an extent this year, though. He does have to pull the ball to put it out of the park here, but he is able to go to all fields very, very effectively. So he does swing outside of the zone a little bit more than you'd like, but because he's striking out such a minuscule percentage, this is a skill that he has. He makes a ton of contact outside the zone. So go ahead, throw him outside of the zone, throw it away. He's probably going to hit it, and he's probably going to hit it hard. He's not putting the ball in the air to the opposite field. He's hitting line drives and ground balls, and that's how he's finding his way on base. Inside the zone, he's going to hit that too. So a very good plate presence. You might as well just throw strikes because he's not going to let a whole lot get by him here. So you can see that first strike percentage, roughly 65% of the time they're just like, you know what, here it is. Just do your thing, hit it. You're not going to hurt us with one swing, but you're probably getting on no matter what here. So you can see in terms of shortstops for the major leagues, in that he's in that top 10 pretty comfortably here. So even ahead of guys like Corey Seager, Jeremy Pena, and Ha-Seong Kim, who've had really nice seasons. Elvis Andrus has come on strong here. And so you put him in that you put him in those Corey with those Seagers and Correa and Bichette type players. He's got one of the better averages, trailing just Xander Bogaerts and Trey Turner. A lot of people trail Xander Bogaerts and Trey Turner. There's no shame there. Leads all shortstops in strikeout percentage, or at least those top 15 guys. And his defense is one of the better numbers as well. So you have some of the Tommy Edmonds and Dansby Swanson, Francisco Lindor, some of the premier defenders. Yeah, sure, he's not there, but he's above a lot of these other guys here. So in terms of shortstops, he's holding his own very, very well. Now, he doesn't have the slugging percentage that a lot of these guys have because he's not hitting the ball out of the park. But again, it's very respectable. In that Elvis Andrus, Jeremy Pena range, and those guys have been hitting some hitting pretty well here. Tommy Edman, so you can see who he compares with when you're looking at Nico Hoerner here. Pitchers, again, we're just going to throw him strikes for the most part. Sure, we can nibble on the edges for the most part here, or get him to chase something way away on and off speed. This is where your sliders might wind up here. But for the most part, we're just going to throw it down the middle. You're not going to beat us with one swing. But if we try and nibble, you're probably hitting it anyway, so we're not going to waste a ton of pitches on this guy. Just here it is, hit, get on base, do your thing, and we'll focus on somebody else. So for the baseball savant portion here, again, not a huge hard hit guy by any stretch here. Maximum exit velocity, doesn't strike out, sprints very well. He has very good speed, so when he gets on again, he can steal some bases and he can beat out those ground balls and those line drives. Doesn't chase a whole lot here. Doesn't, again, outs above average. Doesn't really give himself up too easily very often here. Look at the past 50 plate appearances. He's really starting to ramp things up in that X-weighted on base average here. Past 100, it's fairly flat, and it's been trending low over the past 250. So again, had a really good season, started out pretty well. He's had some injuries as of late, and so they have to come back from that, and it's the Cubs. So maybe everyone's just kind of down in the dumps at this point in the year here. Again, power. Going to have to pull the ball if he wants to put it out of the park here. Otherwise, he's going to spread it around pretty evenly. Again, there's slight advantage to the pull, and that's where this is coming from. Otherwise, go ahead and throw him wherever you want. He's probably going to find a spot here. So, but when he's going for power, he's going to have to pull it down the line here. All right, as far as long-term prospects here, late start again, 25 years old, and you're getting your first taste of the big leagues here. That's a little bit too late, I think, for that long-term relevance here. So having a terrific season, he can be that 4 or 5 win player, but you really need to come up and start doing that at age 21 or 22, and he's behind the 8 ball on that one. So his trajectory could be fine. The big question is, can he be this effective up until age 40? So that's unlikely. So it's not a bet that I'm willing to take at the high end. I think if you're looking for Nico Hoerner cards, you buy it on weakness. Don't be holding the bag as he gets into his 30s. There could be some great years in the interim. There could be some money made on those. But if you're waiting to collect and you want some of those nicer cards, I think patience will be a virtue on this one here. We look at his raw sapphire 2020 tops. That's an autograph, and this can be had for $30-$35. Again, with the player with a very little chance of long-term relevance, probably a fair price. You can get a little bit cheaper, but right now, maybe just a fun card to have, and you're not going to hurt yourself. So if this was $100-$150 card in the raw format, I would be saying don't for the most part with this existing profile. But where it's at right now, you like Nico Hoerner, have fun, do your thing. Someday it may be cheaper, but again, $35 and it becomes a $10 card. Who cares, right? So just enjoy it and have some fun. I don't think this price hurts you. It is trending up just a little bit. If you're trying to make some money, then perhaps there's a little bit of meat on the bone here, but who knows? So Bowman Draft on PSA 10. I don't know why I ran these back 30 days. I should be looking back 365 days. Market Movers does allow me to go back a little bit, but whatever, over the last month or so. Again, fairly flat as he's coming back from injury, so there's some buying picking up here over the past month and a half or something like that. So again, I think people are interested in Nico Hoerner. There's a little bit more buying recently than there has been. Well, he was hurt. So there could be some money made, I think, if you are looking for this. Off-season is a better opportunity, and longer term, it's a player that I'm probably not going to do a whole lot with. So that's what I've got for you on Nico Hoerner. Those are my thoughts. Enjoy to hear yours as well. Other players that we should be looking at. I certainly appreciate suggestions. Thank you for watching. Hit that like, hit the subscribe, do all that kind of good stuff, and have a great rest of the day. Bye now.